Hello and thank you for joining. This is Vinny Borelli. This is Significant Sunday. Today's January 30th, one more day left in the month. I hope you had a great Sunday. Today I want to talk about something really close to my heart. It's a little heavier than normal, but this morning I went to another ceremony. I went to my Catholic ceremony, and again, let me preface this by saying it doesn't matter what your faith is, as long as you believe in something that's a higher up, something that created us, or what have you. But so I went to my Catholic ceremony, and then I went to a Baptist. I went to Calvary, right out here in Allison Park, and there was someone who moved me. First of all, my childhood friend Mark Billings. A lot of you may know him, but there was another person who I met a few weeks back that has really touched me and made me open my eyes and open my heart to see things from just a different perspective. His name is Pastor Lee Sexton. And in any event, this gentleman has moved me, but also my buddy has moved me. And where I'm going with this tonight is that my message really today is, what if today was your last day? This is what the pastor was preaching about. What have you done good in your life? If you look at the whiteboard behind me. But what I'm going to do is segue that into, people have their own faith. People turn their back on God and on their faith when trials, tribulations, disappointments, loss, things like that happen. So my question is to you, how do you cope? I've been asked multiple times. Now I'm going to try to work on another book, time permitting, on how to cope, my way. Growing up an Italian Catholic boy in Bloomfield in Pittsburgh's Little Italy, how I was coping with the loss of my sister when I was young. So I have two stories to tell. I'll go into that in just a moment. Stay with me here now. But loss, sadness, depression. How do you cope with these things? A lot of us take our frustration out on the what ifs. A couple people I know say, don't put a question mark where God puts a period. Excuse me. That being said, I got two stories to talk about this evening. One is my childhood, and I'll touch on it briefly. A lot of you know of it. Some of you do not. Lost my sister when I was 13 years old. Had a heart condition. She died at 18. But my loss, I didn't have, again, growing up an Italian Catholic. My father's an immigrant from Calabria, Italy, and didn't have therapy given to me. In fact, someone just brought up when I went to high school, I just lost my sister when I was, getting out of high school, going into my first year of high school. Nobody knew that I was suffering with pain and bitterness and angst and anger towards, why me? Why my family? My sister happened to sing for the church, made CDs, sang at weddings, funerals, graduations, etc. So the question always was, number one, why me? Why my family? Two is why God took my sister, being devout Catholics when we were younger, why would that happen? So the first story is about me. I turned my back on God, turned to evil, turned to hatred, turned to bitterness. And, that got me nowhere. It was a dead-end street. And as I talk about, success on Make It Happen Monday, Significant Sunday is truly this: to be impactful, to get into your soul, and to make it significant. And I ask, what do you do significant? It is repetitive, but the message is supposed to be redundant. If today was your last day, what are you doing good in your life? So it is truly meant to be repetitive. That being said, I turned my back to God in my faith, and regretfully so. And now, when I finally, years later, was able to deal with and cope with, and realize that I can't have nor will I ever have those answers, right? I can question them and still do, in fact. There's days where I still go back and have that pain and suffering and remember that day vividly when I saw my sister for the last time. So that's just the first part. That's the first story. The second story is, Mark Billings, my childhood friend. Again, what we have in common. A lot of people are like, well, you guys were on the same kickboxing team. Is that all you had in common? No, actually, we have quite a bit more. And to be quite transparent and be candid with you, we had both gone down evil paths. His may have went in one direction, mine in another. That being said, we both found some happiness. Mark found his in a different form. I found mine in another form. But when we both turned our lives around, stayed positive, stayed with gratitude at the forefront of our days, staying with starting to temper your day without that bitterness of he lost his brother. And God rest his soul. He was a childhood friend of mine and my sister's, BB, Brian. And so I still question, why did Mark do that? What made him turn? But we all did turn our back on God, the Lord, whatever your religion is, again. So my situation was a little bit different than Mark's, but almost, 20, 30 years later, kind of the same. So my question to you, I pose to the audience this evening, again, another thought-provoking, follow me here, why not try putting your faith in your religion, your God? Don't turn your back, and go down the route of bitterness and hatred. Try starting your day with not looking for those answers that you may never find until that day comes, right? We may never find that. I know that I don't seek them anymore, but I still ask the question why. So, again, in closing, I thank you for joining me, but think about this. What are you doing good in your life to do every day to make it a significant Sunday, a significant Monday, a significant Tuesday? Like, come on, stay with me. Life's too short. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. So please, for your own good, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, you owe it to your child, your children, your parents, your friends. Be authentic, be genuine, and do something significant. Love you guys. I'm glad you joined me. God bless you. And I look forward to you joining me tomorrow night for Make It Happen Monday. And have a good evening. Bye-bye now.